இல்லையே என்னாத இயற்பகைக்கும் அடியேன், இல்லையே என்னாத இயற்பகைக்கும் அடியேன்.
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். இயல்பகை நாயனார். I am the servant of Iyar who never said no. இல்லையே என்னாத இயற்பகைக்கும் அடியே. In the lives of saints, as recorded by Sekilar, we come across many acts which the modern age of reason would term abnormalities. We are not referring to the miracles. In an age which believed in miracles, naturally they serve a higher purpose in helping good people and in making known their goodness to the unbelieving world. But they are not to be called abnormalities. Men have reached the highest planes of noble conduct, of sacrifice, of self-effacement. They are possible and should not be confused with miracles. But there are certain other lives of conduct which are against all established codes of human behavior, both natural and conventional. When a man gives away his wife to another who asks for her, and when she also agrees to go with him, when another cuts up his only child to satisfy the apparent craving for human flesh of a visiting sannyasi, and when the child's mother agrees to the cutting up, we feel something is wrong and our mind revolts at such things. We term them abnormalities. These may be apparent abnormalities. Normalcy or otherwise depends on the plane of existence. All of us live on the average worldly plane of eating, earning, going about our business and enjoying, and thinking of other things like God, godly men, devotion, sacrifice and the like only occasionally. The best of us may not do unrighteous things, may not do antisocial acts and so on. Their plane of existence is our own normal plane. Only their activities are tempered by more of justice, more of dharma and more of truth than the general run. Then again, we should remember there is a higher plane than this, and that is absolute devotion to God and sacrifice of everything to God. Great men had glimpses of such a plane, but it was not for the common people. All this explanation is necessary to understand some of the greatest sacrifices made by some Nayanar and to understand their own conduct as against the approved ethical codes. The story of Iyar Nayanar is an instance. Iyar was born in a merchant community in the ancient city of Puhar, also known as Kaviri Poompattinam, capital of the Chola emperors up to 2nd century AD.
அடையார்த்தம் புறங்கள் மூன்றும் ஆரடலில் அழுந்த, அடையார்த்தம் புறங்கள் மூன்றும் ஆரடலில் அழுந்த, விடையார் மேனியராய் விடையார் மேனியராய் சீரும் வித்தகர் மேயிடம், விடையார் மேனியராய் சீரும் வித்தகர் மேயிடம்.
He never said no to any Shiva Baktha who came to him for anything, and this was celebrated as his chief attribute in legend and lyric. Lord Shiva once planned to disclose this noble trait of his to the world. So he took the form of a Brahmin besmeared with sacred ash but voluptuous in appearance and went to Iyar. He saluted the visitor and inquired the purpose of his visit. We had heard of the fame of your giving, and if we can have your promise that you will give us what we want, we shall mention it. If I happen to have what you ask, then it is certainly yours. Please mention it, said Iyar. I desire your wife, said the man. Iyar felt glad that the visiting Brahmin, after all, specified some object which he possessed. He went to his very beautiful wife and told her, My dear, I have now given you to the great sage. She was confused for an instant, but the next minute she was sure of herself. My lord, I have no right but to do your bidding, she said, bowed her head to her husband, and went and bowed before the visitor. Anything else that I can do? Asked Iyar. Please go with me when I am taking her and help me to pass this place and your kith and kin. I should myself have offered to do it. I am sorry I have waited for this request, thought Iyar, and arming himself with armor, sword and shield, followed the Brahmin and his wife. The news spread. His relatives armed themselves with many weapons and surrounded the Brahmin, saying, We shall not allow the Brahmin to take away Iyar's wife, although he had given her to him. You rogue, leave the lady here and then proceed, cried they. The Brahmin looked at Iyar's wife as though he was afraid. She assured him, saying that Iyar would drive them away. When they attacked him, Iyar cut them all to pieces with his sword and then accompanied the two until they crossed Puhar into the next village, Tiruchaikadu.
நித்தலும் நியமம் செய்து நீர்மலர் தூவி நித்தலும் நியமம் செய்து நீர்மலர் தூவி நீர்மலர் தூவி நீர்மலர் தூவி நித்தலும் நியமம் செய்து நீர்மலர் தூவி சித்தம்.
You may now return, said the Brahmin. Iyar again bowed before him and turned. Shiva was immensely pleased. This Baktha had returned without even casting a look at his wife. Exclaimed he, and then he cried falsely, Oh, Iyar, help, help, come here. Iyar turned round, ran up, but saw not the false Brahmin, but saw instead on the high heavens the beautiful vision of Shiva with his consort Shakti seated on their mount, the bull. He fell down and cried in sheer joy. Shiva said, Both of you follow me to Shivaloka. Accordingly, they went there into everlasting bliss. The relations who died in the battle with Iyar also reached the heavens. Let us pay our obeisance to the great Iyar Nayanar, who never said no and whose bhakti was surpassing all. Tiruchitrambalam.